Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Thanks for tuning in to Pop Off the Clock, your favorite pop culture podcast.
Yeah. Season 2, episode 2, because we're in a new era.
We are in a new era.
Podcast.
We are in the studio, and let me just tell you, I'm so not used to it.
Oh yeah, for me, it feels weird not to hear myself right now. I know you have like your headpiece on, but I don't, and so I just feel like I'm not even actually doing
Like you're just talking.
Yeah,
to
I'm
me,
just talking.
Which that's what we still want, even though we're in a little fancier studio. We still want to be relaxed.
Yeah, like we're just talking. I mean, I put on my Taylor Swift Eras Tour t-shirt just because we're going to be talking. Of course, this is kind of a clue into one of the topics for today. But there's a lot and not a lot that happened this week, which might mean that there's more to come in the future. Or, you know how they just bomb us on Friday with all of this bad information? So it is a Thursday. We are recording on a Thursday. And yeah, we're going to start off how we usually do with kind of catching up on how we're doing since you last saw us. Yos, how have you been doing?
For the week.
What have you been doing? What have you been up to?
What have I been doing? Oh, I went to San Antonio this weekend, which was ultra fun because I got to try all these lovely restaurants, and you know, my friend and I, Chloe, we just love to like follow these places on Instagram and TikTok.
Like where to go eat
and we
and
follow,
stuff,
like
right?
we just like we gotta try this, and we finally kind of like set a date. We're like, we're gonna wake up early, we're gonna try this place, we're gonna go this and there, and then we go to IKEA and Trader Joe's and Whole Foods.
I still need to go to a Trader Joe's. I've never been to a Trader Joe's before.
Ever?
Never, ever
Really?
in life. And my parents love it. You guys love it. I mean, all signs point to me having to have gone, but no, I've never been. But I mean, everything that you guys bring back and I try is so good. My parents bring back the best wines and chips. Like, it sounds like heaven.
I'm surprised you haven't. You give off of Trader Joe's
right?
vibe.
A Trader Joe's vibe. No, but I do need to check it out. Was it a day trip that you all did?
Yeah, it was a day trip.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like San Antonio is just an easy drive. Easy. I don't even drive there, but
is it bad because I feel so lazy going 2 hours out of town to do something? I'm not really a huge fan of day trips because I'm so tired. I don't want to drive back and forth in one day because I'm always thinking about, well, tomorrow I'm going to be so exhausted.
Which I was. Like, I will say that these day trips do like wear you out a little bit. Or just being in a car for a couple hours. The older you get, the more you feel it on your lower back.
Exactly.
It's not okay.
When it's not a good seat, it's not doing well.
Yeah, but what did you do?
Well, Yoseline, this is kind of a little plug. I spent my whole weekend watching Love Island USA, and I cannot stop talking about it. Literally, ask anybody at work. I don't shut up about Love Island USA. I'm trying to get this girl to watch it because it's so entertaining. Actually, a new episode comes out, it comes out almost every day except Wednesdays. So that's what I spent my whole weekend doing. Like, literally, I was like an islander just lounging all day, like watching them live their lives. That's what I did. I didn't really do much else. I've just been watching a lot of TV. I don't have nothing else to do with my life. I don't go out of town. I just watch TV at home all of the time.
That's fine. For Love Island, is there like a live stream into the house?
Well, actually, they post a lot on social media now. Like, their TikTok account is very active with videos of them inside the house, like them doing little games and like them taking, you always see them taking selfies and stuff. And I'm like, where are they gonna post they post it on their TikTok. But yeah, they're on every single day, and it's like a competition. So I downloaded the app. Yes, I'm a loser. I downloaded the app just so I can vote and I can just kind of be a part of it. But yeah, I'm excited to actually watch one of these live. I've only seen like past seasons, and it feels like a lot in the past seasons because you're not watching it every single day. Whereas I feel like if you're watching it every single day, it feels like I just want more. I just want more.
Yeah. So Ariana Madix is right.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I started watching, because I've never heard good things about Love Island USA. It's always been UK that's been like dominating, but a lot of people are saying UK actually isn't good this season, and that USA is good. And Ariana Madix is killing it. I wasn't surprised that she would.
I'm surprised.
But all of her outfits are insane. Insane.
I mean, I wanted her to be good, but I am.
No, she's been doing good, like on Broadway, hosting. Like, good for her, honestly.
Great for her.
But yeah, that's what's been up with us.
Yeah, we've also been, well, at least, you know, we've been catching up on celebrity stuff.
Yeah, let's get into the celebrities' lives now.
I cannot talk today, but that's fine. We have our headlines, that just things that you kind of just need to know of pop culture. The first one is Katie Holmes' daughter, Suri, is officially a high school graduate. The 18-year-old graduated on June 21st with her famous mother by her side.
Isn't that crazy?
No. I feel so old.
Right?
Yes.
I remember when, like, everybody was talking about
The birth
Tom
of her.
Cruise and Katie having a baby. Suri was just such a random name. I'm also reminds me of like when Brad and Angelina had their kids. Like these were the kids that kind of grew up in this heightened
like, oh, I can't wait till like they're famous and see what they do.
Yeah.
Well, she's 18. I will say, why was everyone so obsessed with like her birth? Is it because Tom Cruise was so popular?
I think it's because he's so popular.
I mean, he
had another kid with Nicole Kidman.
He had two.
So that's why I'm like, I think it's because their relationship was just so wild.
Yeah.
Because Katie Holmes is way younger than Tom Cruise, and like his display of affection towards her was just like things that people still talk about, like jumping on the Oprah sofa,
so
like
crazy.
talking about how much she loved this woman. But it's so wild to see that part of their relationship, and now it seems like they have no I mean, she literally got rid of her name.
Oh, yes. So
Suri. She's no longer Suri Cruise. It's Suri Noel. I just read a headline that said that it was in honor of her mother. So makes sense.
Makes sense. Interesting. Next up, it's this Vogue World thing that you probably saw on social media, and you're probably wondering what the heck it was. Well, it was Vogue World, the fashion world, took over the place of Vendôme in Paris. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. For the third edition of Vogue World, a runway experience so extravagant it boasts hundreds of looks, multiple performances, and always manages to create a viral moment or two. Well, this year's edition celebrated 100 years of French fashion and sports, which marks the time between the Paris Olympics in 1924 and the ones that are set for this summer. Let me just tell you, all the social media stuff was so chaotic.
I didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know. I was
honestly.
just like, is this like a designer?
Exactly.
Why is there a horse?
And
Why
when I
is
kept
Sabrina
hearing
Carpenter?
Vogue, I'm like, what does Vogue have to do with any of this? It didn't make any sense to me.
Which it kind of makes sense now that I read this. It's Vogue World. It was probably like timeline of like all the major moments, but with major people, right? Bad Bunny had a big year. Sabrina Carpenter was in there. Katy Perry was in there. Kendall was in there with a horse, and it was just a big year for horse girls. So I really, it was just so chaotic. But
when's the last time they ever did something like this? That's why I'm like, it just felt so like
new, out of nowhere.
Yeah, like what was the press, like why did you feel the need to do this all of a sudden, or if it's been going on for a long time? I mean, that's good to know, but yeah, I was like, why are all these people in this one place? I was really confused. I'm like, is this something for the Olympics?
That Joe Burrow guy was in it.
Oh yeah, like why?
Katy Perry was in it. Sabrina Carpenter.
I feel like was it the usual suspects like Naomi Campbell?
Of Serena Williams opened the show, I believe. You know the French lady that is in Emily in Paris?
Yes,
she was
I
in
saw
it.
her.
So it was just like a little bit of everything.
It was very all over the place. That's why, and people could watch it live, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I was watching some TikToks where people were like, I was watching the Vogue live thing, but then I had to cut out to watch something else. And I'm like, wait, this whole thing was live too? That's just bizarre.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on. But you know what's also going on in Paris? Kendall and Bad Bunny rekindled their
more
love.
public about their rekindling this time
So now
around.
it's like official, because we did see them that one club video, and it made me think like, oh, maybe they're just so cordial with each other and they hang out. But they went on a full date. According to some insiders, he rented out the Louvre for her, which she then posted pictures of the date night on Instagram a few days later, but not really referencing him or anything to do with that. But
and speaking of the couple, I just saw before we started this that they're currently vacationing with Kim, Jeff Bezos, and his wife, or is his girlfriend?
fiance, maybe?
Yeah, whoever she,
All of the
I
above.
forgot her name, but yeah, they're all together. So they're continuing their summer of love. Who would have thunk that they would have had a rekindling?
That's so interesting.
They look so happy though. They look happy together. I feel like she looks really happy.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not anti them anymore. I'm like full, like, okay, you know, you guys tried it out, fell apart, and then you guys came back together. There's a reason why.
I'm still curious what they talk about, and so is all of the world.
Still, what the world is also talking about is Sabrina Carpenter. Well, she scores her first Hot 100 #1 with Please, 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 while its predecessor, Espresso, still remains in the top 5 in the charts. And
good for her. I'm actually surprised that Espresso has not hit #1 and that it was Please, Please, Please.
Yeah, that is so weird.
I feel like that. I think her music video played a huge part in the song having a lot of success because she had her boyfriend in it. And I think a lot of people watched it, liked the song, and then got hooked on the song. So
and it's
she's a smart girl.
The deep voice part.
Yeah.
I won't say it on here.
You can't say the word.
You can't say it on here. Another song that's kind of causing some commotion or some attention is Lorde is on the remix of Charlie's Girls So Confusing off her recent album Brat. This feature basically confirms Girl So Confusing is about Charlie's insecurity when compared to Lorde and their underlying tensions in their relationship, which I read a little bit about it because you brought it to my attention, and I thought it was just so interesting how they're like, oh yeah, let's do, like, I don't know, I feel that if someone came up to me and was just like, you make me feel so insecure, I'd be like, what? Like, I'm sorry, what? And you want me to be on your song? Like, can I think about it for a little bit?
I think that they might have had some kind of like relationship, or I don't know if like they were introduced through mutual people and then maybe always tried to make it work, but one felt like, you know, I feel like Charlie felt like I'm not really getting much from you in our interactions. And she's in this lyrics, it's basically like, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but I was kind of going through all of these things off, like I wanted to isolate myself from the world, basically.
Yeah.
And it just proves that women can come together.
Do you think Lorde knew? Like, when she got the call?
No.
What do you think she'd be like, wait, what? Like,
no, yeah, literally her lyrics were like, I was surprised when I got your voice note because it just like, I did not know that that's how you felt. And while you think that I was flaking on you, I was really like, didn't want to take pictures. Like I was like struggling with my weight. I've always had like insecurity issues. And I feel like it's for me, that's one of the songs that has been really relatable lately because I've always had like really big insecurity issues, and you always are so much in your head, you never know how you're being perceived by other people.
And at the end of the day, no one really cares.
Exactly. Like it's not really as big as we think it is, but in our heads, we amplify everything to the max.
So much. Another, I guess, album is Gracie Abrams. She released her sophomore album, The Secret of Us, which you say debuted second?
Yeah, so Jack Antonoff, who's a part of this project, no, it was Aaron Dessner, who was a part of this project. He posted like the sheets showing, I guess, the billboards for the coming week, and it showed her at #2.
I did read something else that it is outpacing Taylor's current.
Okay, that's good.
Which makes sense. I mean, Taylor's tortured poets department.
I don't understand why it's still. I haven't listened to that album. Because there's just been so much good. This Torture Poets Department is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much good music coming out this summer. I'm trying to give everyone the proper attention. And I did give this album a lot of attention. I really like her lyrics and her writing and her music, but it's kind of similar to that thing where everyone was saying Torture Poets Department songs sound all of the same. For us as fans, we're like, no, it's actually way more intricate. I feel like for her fans, it was probably such a great album. I love a couple of songs on there. And it has that song, Us, between Taylor and Gracie.
Make sure it's still recording. I can't really see.
It says it on the bottom right there. We're just checking. It's a whole different system, guys.
It's a whole different system,
we're having to like double our workload a little bit now.
It's like, it's a little bit more, even though the last studio was kind of high tech, but I don't know, it's just different.
It was easier, well, because we had everything in front of us. It was easier to kind of keep tabs on things. Now we kind of just have to keep
Pray
an
to
eye
the
out.
Lord that it's going. I feel like
See,
it
after
says,
the red button, you see how it has those numbers?
it says 30, I think.
Oh, that we have 30 left?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're 30
Well,
minutes
guys.
left of this show.
But yeah, so let me talk to you about another it girl of music, right? We have Olivia Rodrigo. She's wrapping up, or she already wrapped up her European leg of her tour, Guts World Tour, and she's coming back to the U.S. She posted a cute little TikTok about being, you know, High School Musical reference, and I'm happy for her, but I kind of wonder, like, how expensive tickets are to go see her.
I'm curious if she's continuing her tour, maybe in Canada or like the United States. If she's coming back to the United States.
Like North America?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it said North America.
Oh, she's coming back? Okay, cool.
But I think limited time because it is the second leg of her.
Yeah, and I think maybe after that she'll probably start focusing on music again, which is exciting.
I know. You know, she's one of those artists that you don't really see her unless she has a project out. Like, once she's, like, done promoting, like, she's out. Like, you don't really...
Which, I know that she commented last time from her Sour to the Guts period of time in between that she wanted to kind of take a break because she wanted to be able to experience enough life to be able to write about it. So I think that she'll probably be taking another break afterwards. After
Which is
she's
fair.
in the public eye.
And then just one of our last headline, keeping it short today. Jennifer Lawrence is set to star and produce in a murder mystery film, The Wives, which is inspired by the dramatic dynamics portrayed in the Real Housewives franchise. And that is supposed to happen collaboration between Apple Original Film and A24. And I think she is the perfect person for that because she absolutely knows the Housewives.
Yeah.
She's a huge fan, and I think she'll do that dynamic in that environment such justice.
Is it a comedy or
Murder mystery.
Murder mystery? I feel like her last project that she produced, which was
that one.
That one comedy. That's one of my favorite movies, no lie. It's so like it's so well done. I don't know, so I really have hope that any project that she touches is going to be good. Like if she actually has her hands in it, I think she makes like great stuff. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for her too. I think she's funny. But let's get into our three main topics, which of course, do you want to start like this up or end with that one?
We can start with this one.
Okay.
Oh wait, I thought it was.
Do I have the wrong? Oh yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
You're good.
That's fine. But London, that was the place to be this weekend. And Miss Taylor Swift just left us all with our jaws on the floor. The moment, let's start off with the biggest part, which is Travis Kelce getting on stage and just being a part of his girls' show.
Well, Travis had been kind of hyping up the London shows, and everyone thought that she was going to be announcing another re-release, but it was actually him on stage, which I was actually tuning in live that Sunday, or was it Sunday or was it Saturday? I was tuning in live that day.
Oh, it's the third day.
Yeah, it was Sunday.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Sunday.
Okay.
I was like, oh yeah, her tour should be
Sunday.
going on right now. Let me tune in, because I haven't actually seen the whole Torture Poise Department set through the live stream. So I tuned in, and then literally a couple seconds later, I just hear like this loudest screaming ever, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh my God, is that Travis? And I was like, oh my God, that's Travis.
I freaked out. I got a TikTok, and it must have been like minutes after, but I was just like, this is not real. And it was real, and he was really good, he was really into it. And
yeah.
It was just a sweet
I'm
moment.
just like, I love that Taylor Swift was like, I'm not gonna sing London Boy, I'm not gonna sing So Long London. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my American boy to come pick up the pieces of these London boys, carry me for my next part where I like, you know, overcome all of this.
It's so funny. I think I texted you, reclaiming London. Like, this will be her new memory of London.
The symbolism behind that whole thing is something only Taylor Swift would do. I mean, I think she is always 10 steps ahead of the game.
You think so? I think that it was, no, like, it's so out of character. Like,
for her to do that. I really think that she stepped it up because she's like, I've gotten my heart broken by 2 London boys, and I'm going to be petty and be like, look, I got the prize at the end of the day. Like, I got a guy who is not afraid to go on stage, wear an outfit in front of like 90,000 people.
Yeah, I think she's trying to, but the risk of this not working out and this being part of.
No, but she knew that she was going to dominate. I mean, literally, Taylor Swift dominated the headlines all weekend.
I wonder what she was trying to cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What she was trying to cover?
Yeah, sometimes you do things more outrageous because you want that headline to beat something else.
Yeah.
Maybe just her being in London.
Yeah,
also
or
just
like
be
maybe,
something.
well, I know that Joe's new movie is coming out pretty soon, so being part of the
I think
conversation.
it was the premiere weekend of it.
It
to
was.
be honest.
He was in New York
Yeah.
when she was in London, but another thing of that whole aside from like, there's so many things from the concert, but I think it's so cute as the entire time it was the whole Kelsey clan showed up to the show.
Yeah.
Aside from a lot of different famous people,
Yes,
which we'll get into.
I have a list of those people.
But there was a really cute clip, I don't know if I sent it to you, where, you know, the entire weekend, Taylor was singing to Travis was singing to Taylor, like they were just being so cute. And it's Kylie Kelsey behind him.
Oh yes, I saw it.
When she's singing Lover, and she just like is like, this is it. This is my sister-in-law, like it's gonna happen. Like I don't know, I just think
I think it's genuine. I think her, like Kylie's stare at Travis, staring at Taylor staring at Travis.
Yeah, the eye contact of her.
I think she was just like, this is totally genuine. Like, they're at their prime of their relationship.
Yeah.
They are truly so in love with each other. I do think it's endgame, but there's there's always that chance that something might not work out in the long run.
But aside from the Kelsey clan showing up, there was, so many other people that stopped by the London.
We had Carissa, I believe her last name was Thompson, Erin Andrews, Jonathan Vaness, Nicola Coolin.
I heard it the other day, and I was like,
Selma Hayek, which, by the way, I didn't even know she was there until she posted that she was there.
Yeah, she was posting so much stuff.
Leslie Mann, Cara Delevingne, Stella McCartney, Paul McCartney, Tom Cruise, missing his daughter's graduation for this, and Rachel Zegler, Vanessa and Nick Lachey were also there.
Also Theo James.
Oh, yes,
Theo
James.
James Dornan. The guy that came out in the whole 50 Shades of Grey series.
Oh, yeah, cute.
He was there as well. I just love that Travis's family is extremely supportive of like their relationship and her.
Jason was just like at one point like,
but
this is so sweet.
There was also a super cute clip of them going to the concert and him seeing a kid in an Eagles jersey and taking a picture with the kid, and I'm like, they even on their podcast I think they did their podcast in London, and they were talking about how just it was their first time and that she absolutely killed it. And Jason said that he got teary-eyed when he saw the 22 hat portion of the concert, because he was like, as a girl dad, I thought it was so sweet. But it's like, Jason, where have you been, bro?
Jason. The other thing that I thought was so cute was Jason was handing out guitar picks.
He was taking over for Scott.
Yeah, that was so cute.
But aside from like these celebrities, which are really nothing to this,
the biggest picture.
Big, royalty was also in attendance to go see Taylor Swift in concert. Prince William, along with his kiddos, George and Charlotte,
Princess Charlotte,
were all there. They took a picture with Taylor Swift and Killa Trav.
Yes.
She hard launched on her social media.
Hard launch. This is, okay, so she posted a picture, and like the official Prince and Princess of Wales posted a picture. Her picture was like the actual selfie they took, and it like just popped in my grid, and I'm like, wait, what? It's the first picture that we see of Travis on hers, on her grid, and then she ended up actually tagging Travis in her recap weekend post, which was
she
pretty
commented
official.
On his presence there. She said, I'm still dying, cracking up over
Yeah.
But even in the language that she used, people were saying that it's debut coded, because it was like Killa Trav made his debut. And then before, when she was talking about Gracie Abrams and their performance, she said, our song, Us, we performed. And so everyone's like, is she gonna announce debut first before Reputation, which people are saying could happen because she's reclaiming her name before she reclaims her reputation.
I just want reputation out
But
together.
all I have to say is the royal family take notes that all it took to restore this man's reputation was going to a Taylor Swift concert and dancing like a fool. Because,
Shake It Off thing.
because it's just like, wow, Prince William, first of all, loves Shake It Off. He was shaking it off in an embarrassing way. I'm like, everyone hated you for like literally a couple years.
That video was so cringe where I'm just like, I could just picture like Charlotte being like, Dad, please, like you're so embarrassing.
But during the podcast with Travis and Jason, they were mentioning, well, Travis said that William is super cool, and they were commenting how Charlotte was so adorable, super fiery, and that she was just absolutely like so happy to be there.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, how cool is it to be like, your all sovereignty is obsessed with me.
Yeah.
They came to my concert.
Now what, Joe?
Yeah. Not that I think that Joe or
Yeah, I don't think
I doubt Maddie cares about the royalty, but it's kind of just like, hey.
But you know, I do want to talk about another pop star that's kind of taking over the world.
Yes.
Have you heard of her, Chappell Roan?
Have I heard
Did
of
I
her?
just say her name, Chappell Roan?
It's Chappell.
She, I don't know where she came from. But
She literally came out of nowhere.
But she's been doing it for several years. So if you look up her stuff, you sent me a little chart where Billboard is kind of analyzing her streams. In the beginning of January, her music was streaming. She had 2.5 million streams. To date, 68.4. A lot has happened in the last 5 months for her. She even was recently in a concert that she just started crying, and she's like, guys, my career is going so fast. Like, I'm just so overwhelmed. Give me a second. And she just broke down in tears. And she has just a bop after bop. If you listen to her album.
Which by the way, came out in 2023.
Yeah.
So her album, I don't know what month of 23 it came out in, but like that was last year, guys. Like her album in current time is blowing up. I even, in that chart list where it showed Gracie under Taylor, Chappell Roan's album was like number 4. And that's an old album, guys. Yeah. So it's really awesome to see. I feel like it's kind of similar to what happened with Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
Sabrina Carpenter's Emails I Could Never Send. Songs from that album only recently started getting popular, and that album also came out like I think a year or two ago. So it just kind of shows that when people get popular, they get popular. It doesn't matter when their album came out.
I do wonder if she could like qualify for like.
So that's the big conversation now.
Sabrina's
currently is best new artist and how that's going to go forward. Because I was reading some headline about it. How, for example, like Tate McRae, she only recently blew up, but apparently she's applied to be the Best New Artist nomination 3 times, and I read that you get disqualified after a certain point. So Chappell Roan, since I doubt she's ever submitted, she is applicable, as well as Sabrina Carpenter, because Sabrina Carpenter has only submitted twice. Or I don't know if this is her second time.
Like basically under the limit.
Yeah, so and a lot of people are like, Sabrina, though, has been out forever, and that just kind of makes you reassess what exactly does the category Best New Artist mean? Is it that somebody that just blew up, or is it somebody that's, just started their career from this point on?
I don't think that should be it, because you have so many like stories that they've been doing music for 20 years and they finally get their big hit, and now they can't apply to that because they're technically, I mean, it'd be hard to define, don't get me wrong, but
even then, if Chappell and Sabrina were to be in that category, I honestly think Chappell would win, because
I think so too.
Because I just feel like
her whole album's good.
Yeah, I think her whole album's good, and aside from that, I think that she's such a unique artist. She's like nothing else we've ever seen. She has her own persona that she really kind of commands, and it's just such a unique presence to this pop world.
I think she's like a good mixture of. Did you ever listen to Marina and the Diamonds?
I didn't, but I could see that
Lady
vibe.
Gaga and Katy Perry. Like that's what I feel like. She's very artsy, drama theater, like Gaga and Marina, but she has that like quirky, like mainstream thing, that Katy Perry catchiness.
Yeah. And her lyrics are very much speaking to a demographic that I feel like never had those honest of lyrics before said. Like, Good Luck, Babe. It's such an honest song about something that's never been talked about. I mean, it's like, and me and our friend Chloe were talking about this. I feel like a lot of the young artists right now are very vulnerable in their lyrics and talking about things that we've never seen talked about in music before, which I like to see. She said it's because a lot of young people are woke, which is true. A lot of young people, you know, aren't afraid to talk about the things that are usually taboo or weird to talk about.
Yeah, just listen to that one song.
Yeah.
It was casual.
Yeah, and it's funny because even our coworker Heatwave, he's a fan of Chappell Roan now.
Yeah, the few songs that you guys.
And he actually said that he preferred her over Taylor Swift.
Yes, her voice.
Yeah,
right?
her voice over Taylor Swift.
Which we all can agree that.
Her voice is beautiful, and even this past weekend, she was having a pizza night with Elton John, and Elton John is just like
gushing over
singing her prayers. And it's actually interesting too because her producer is Dan Nigro, who is producing Olivia Rodrigo, Conan Gray, and it's like, is he? I think he's the new Jack Antonoff.
I was gonna say that.
People.
I'm like, is he the new Jack
I was actually
Antonoff?
so surprised at that. He was her producer. I mean, I'm like, that's so unique. It's so different from Olivia. She's very like 80s, like poppy
drama theater.
Yeah.
And
Olivia's very rock. I just think it's
90s pop.
It's calling into question, you know, how diverse Jack Antonoff is, which a lot of people have been talking about. But it's interesting to see like who he represents and who Dan represents and who Jack represents, and just how different they are.
How like you can make that switch.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
You know who's actually kind of probably like that? Phineas.
Yeah.
I don't think I think I struggle to spot his songs and other people, because I think he does make that good transition of like I'm here to highlight your voice, and like there's no one else that sounds like Billie Eilish would be the same.
Whereas a lot of people are just saying that Jack Antonoff is continuing to do the same like synth sound, whatever, but I'm like, I don't know.
We love it though.
I mean, I love all the music that he puts out.
Yeah, but we'll see how long that lasts. And then our last topic today is just a comeback we've been waiting for. Freaky Friday 2 has been announced. Production pictures were released by Disney that it's going, and the original cast is on board. Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, Chad Michael Murray.
Is Chad Michael Murray coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's a release date for next year. There's not a lot of information about the actual plot, but what we do know is that Lindsay Lohan will have a daughter in it.
Yeah.
So who will this daughter switch bodies with? The grandma or the mom? Or maybe like all three just continuously like swap?
Oh my God, that would be so crazy.
I'm just so excited because yes, Lindsay Lohan has kind of made a comeback for a while. She's been in like these Netflix movies. But
did you watch the Netflix movie
no,
that she came in?
But
it
they've
was
been
really
kind of like, like this Hallmarky cheesy feel. Like I want her on a feature film.
Yeah.
Great budget, Disney behind it. I just want to see where her acting chops are lining up to someone like Jamie Lee Curtis. Now that it's time
I feel like Lindsay Lohan was always really good at comedy. Like she knows, she has comedic timing. I mean, it was pretty evident on like SNL and stuff like that. And I'm excited to see her take on a feature role. Yeah, see how that acting is doing, because the Hallmark movies weren't giving us anything really I wanted to see. But I'm just so happy for her. I mean, it was really unfortunate to see where her life and career went at one point, but the fact that she's willing to pick it back up. And I think the hope was always for her to be such like an Academy Award winning actress, because back then she had the acting chops for it. So, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see where.
But I really do. I don't know. I'm also curious as to who they'll cast as her daughter.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's gonna be someone probably unnamed, because you probably don't want to compete with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis as being like the draw.
And I'm curious how Chad Michael Murray will be brought into the mix. Like, will he be like the husband, or will he be like he's still working at like the restaurant and they run into each other or something? Or he has like a kid in school with like a girl.
Reunited, like she went off to college.
Yeah.
And then like,
Or if it's going to be a young girl, it's going to be a girl in college, high school. I think they're going to go for the high school thing because that's when
maybe middle school.
You're the angstiest.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school.
Yanks. Yeah, that's true. Wow.
No,
Are we old or it's just a thing?
No, we're old, but also young at heart. We're old numbers wise.
Yes,
but
But no, that's a movie that is definitely on my list. I hope it goes. Do you think it'll be a theater, just like Disney Plus?
No, I think it's going to go to theaters. I mean, I think they know. The whole thing about the culture right now is everyone loves nostalgia. Everyone loves nostalgia. I mean, that's why they are, coming out with the same thing over and over, like Twisters too, because people love that nostalgia factor. So I do think that they would definitely play their hand at putting that in theaters, and I will go watch it. I think anybody that you ask would be like, heck yeah, I'm gonna go watch that movie.
Yeah, I would.
Even like the press, I think, around it. I mean, just look at the Instagram posts. Like that was everywhere. So I feel like Disney. I also wonder if Disney weighs like, let's see how the public reaction is going to be. Like from there, we'll decide do we want to go to theaters or do we want to go straight to...
I do think that, and I think it's like how much of the marketing budget they'll like release for it. No, I do agree with that.
And like you can market the heck out of Lindsay Lohan because people want to see her come back up. So
put that in your calendar, 2025. Now we're going to recap some shows that we've been watching. One of those is the Kardashians. I've kind of like I've been playing it as background music or sound in my room for a couple of days. I'm caught up. Well, I'm caught up to the one where Kim is doing all the movie.
Yeah, so last week's, not this one that just came out on Wednesday, last Wednesday. I just feel like the season isn't really interesting, honestly. Like, I think season one, because we wanted to see how they were going to be different from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, how into their lives are they going to still keep it at a certain distance. Season two was whatever. I
thought, okay, I was watching this season in hopes maybe they would address the fact that they were kind of like, I don't want to say flopping, but they were just not as much in the headlines anymore. They weren't as popular, but I don't know, they're not really addressing it. They're just doing their thing. Kourtney pregnant, Kim working, Khloe locked up at her house, Kendall just talking about anxiety.
What do you think of that whole, like that frustration amongst the sisters that Khloe is just so focused on her kids right now?
I think, I see it. Like, I know where they're coming from, but you also can't push someone out of their comfort. Like, when they're not ready, they're not ready. But I do understand that they're probably worried about her because you're just going to waste, she's not going to waste away, but she is still at good age to be dating around. She's a, beautiful girl. She's young. Like, she can't, it's that whole self-care thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're worried about.
So I was watching the more recent episode, and she was kind of talking a little bit about the fact that her kids are so young. They're at the age where they want to hang out with their mom. And she's like, I want to soak up those times because they're going to stop wanting to hang out with me and start hanging out with my friends. And I'm like, kids start not wanting to hang out with their parents like at the teen years.
Yeah.
So I think at that point she'll probably be like, okay, I'm ready now. Like my kids are going to kind of be on their own. I've already been a part of the whole growing up, raising process.
Yeah, like they're the person kind of.
Yeah, but I do agree. I mean, like helicopter parent, like we do this at 6, dinner at 7, like all of these things. It is a little too much, but also I feel like Kim shouldn't be one to talk because I feel like she barely pays attention to her kids sometimes.
Right?
Like it's like, okay, you're over obsessing over Khloe wanting to be a parent. Like,
I always considered her like a really good parent because of like comparing her to Kourtney, where like her kids were hitting nannies.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I feel like you're not really.
I feel like she's been very open about the fact that her kids don't like her sometimes. They think she's cringe, and that she doesn't that she's just always working all the time.
Yeah.
And we did learn in this recent episode that she was selling a pitch for a movie. So I'm like, girl, you're actually gonna be an actress now? Like, that's wild.
I think she was okay in American Horror Story, but I also don't think like, wait, you're gonna star in it, or you're just gonna be like in it.
And that's the thing, though. But in her character in American Horror Story, I feel like that was so close to her reality. I mean, obviously, you can play something that you know really well. You're basically being your mom in the show. So, I mean, I'm going to be one of those people that is going to be curious to see how she acts in an actual, like,
Me too.
serious or comedic role. They always say comedy is very hard to do. It's harder than serious. Yeah.
Especially if she ends up getting someone, a good cast.
Yeah.
You have to like
join
level
her.
up to them. You have to like not let them.
Is Kim going to be the actress of her time? Winning an
I'd be
Oscar?
like,
What a crazy
but
time.
aside from that,
Also, Kylie addresses some
face.
issues that she's been having. So this current time in the season is when they went to Paris.
and then those
she
ugly
wears
pictures.
that, yeah, where everyone's like pointing out how old she looks, and she becomes vulnerable to Kendall saying that, you know, she's always been picked on her whole life about how she looks and that she's tired of it and all that stuff. But the counter argument is that you all are upset at the standards that you've created for the whole world. So a lot of people are not really sympathizing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, everyone's human. People have feelings. Like, it's, you know, just because you choose to be on TV or choose to like be in front of a camera, whatever it is, doesn't mean that you don't still have feelings.
Yeah.
When something negative is said about you.
I do. I think, yeah, she's been on TV for her whole life.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me how that, but it was nice to see, like, it does bother people. And even, you know, I get that. I totally get that. And yeah, they like created these standards, but I think it's like, were they forced into those standards as well? That pressure of looking that way. But it was nice not to see her cry, but that she did touch on that, something that's bothering her. And I mean, those pictures did make a lot of headlines, and it's so that kind of negativity does get back to them, and they do hear about it. On the other hand, Courtney's on cloud 9.
Yeah, with her kid.
With her new baby.
She has her kid at the end of that episode, right?
She does.
See, I kind of just like spaced out at some point.
I kind of did. I do
remember
like,
whatever.
being like, yay, like they're happy. So I'm like,
Courtney isn't my favorite person to watch. I feel like she always says the same thing. Like, she's like, I don't want to.
She has a new podcast coming out.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With X.
With X?
With Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I think it's wellness.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, but that's basically it for the Kardashians. Another show that we've been keeping track of is House of Dragons, episode 2 of season 2, just like this episode.
Yeah.
Aired this past Sunday, and I've been reading a lot of people are saying like, what happened? Like nothing really happened, but
I was actually when we were talking about our recaps, I'm like, what did happen in the show?
So not a lot of
But I
happened, but a
remembered.
lot of happened.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna like go into a little bit more detail that.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Not spoil. Yeah, guys, spoilers. It's
If you're not
'cause
caught up on it.
I know, but we meet those, or we continuously meet those two guys that
The brothers.
The brothers that one of them saved, the king of the sea guy.
Oh, the Sea King.
The Sea King, and they are going to be a very big part of the storyline. There's a part where one of them, Adam, is like taking out a crab, and you like see the dragon pass
Oh my
by.
gosh! I thought you were talking about
Which one?
The Knight brothers.
Oh no, not Eric and
I was
Eric.
like-
no,
I was like,
the
wow,
other
they
two
died,
brothers.
though.
No, the ones that one of them saved.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that scene.
They're like gonna be really big.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
They're the brothers of the main guy.
No,
Who are they?
So they. Do you just want me to tell you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean-
So they are his bastard kids, basically. That's what I read.
Oh.
So he legitimizes them eventually, which makes them the next heir when he dies, taking away Rhaenyra's. I'm sorry if someone's like, tell her spoiler alert. Yeah, but I
Wow.
don't know. That's just from the book. Like, everything could change. because
Guys,
there's
I
a
love
lot of
spoilers.
things.
I hate to say it, but I really do love spoilers because I just like to see if it actually plays out the way
Yeah.
it's supposed to play out.
Yeah, and
That's
these are just things from the
interesting.
books that people kind of like put together. So I'm very interested to see their storyline because a
love
lot of people
that.
had said like that the show really didn't move anywhere, and I'm like, no, it actually.
I feel like it's setting up things.
It's
And,
setting up
I mean,
things.
that's still in the beginning where I really don't know if they're going to go into another season to actually show what happens in the end, or if this is going to be the last season. I really don't know where they're at with that.
I don't know because they used season 1 was the whole setup for this fight. So I think it might be the fight, and then it's a cliffhanger, and then maybe season 3 will wrap it up, and then it's gonna be not new cast, but it's just an older version of the cast members that survived.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I'm excited to see where that storyline goes, because I really didn't know, like, who are these people? Why are they, like, appearing all of a sudden? Why do I care?
Yeah, it's really hard to, like, and their names were just so hard. Some like Eric and Eric. Like, that scene was so, like, heartbreaking.
It was really sad, because I mean, he even said it, like, I don't want to do it, I still love you, but, like, it just kind of shows at that time honor was just such a big thing.
Such a big thing, and to the point where I'd rather kill myself than walk this earth, like, knowing that I killed my brother, and not only brother but
your
a twin brother.
And they were close forever. It was just like that disagreement over who's leader, and that's it. It didn't. But I mean, Rhaenyra's in a very vulnerable position. I mean, I feel like was it Eric or?
Eric. Oh, I don't know which one.
I forgot which brother. Honestly, during the fight scene, I even forgot who was who. I'm like,
no,
wait,
you couldn't even tell them apart. You couldn't even tell them apart.
Yeah.
But aside from that lady, I forgot her name, the one that she let free, she saved her. She probably missed her boat, so she's probably still in the island.
She did.
She's probably at Dragonstone still.
It was also the funeral of Jaehaerys. We see the aftermath of just that whole scene. I'm actually really shocked that. What's the kid's name again? The one that's the king right now?
Aegon.
I'm so surprised Aegon cares about his children that much.
I think it's sweet in a way. It's because, in my opinion, like when we see him bring his kid to work that one day, it's like, I'm going to prepare him like my dad didn't prepare me, because, like, I'm going to give him what my dad didn't give me.
Yeah.
I think
he wants to give the affection that he was never given by Alicent or Viserys, because Viserys didn't like his kids with Alicent. Alicent was just kind of forced to have kids. And even in the scene towards the end where he's already let go of Otto Hightower as his, like, command, which I'm like, you know, the devil you know, right? We know who Otto Hightower is and what his influences are. Sir Criston Cole, I really don't know what his motives are at this point. Obviously, he hates Rhaenyra. Obviously, he hates Rhaenyra and wants to kill her because she didn't want to be with him. But I'm like, what lengths is he willing to go to? I mean, Otto is very smart about how his strategy. Like, he did the whole kind of like Princess Diana funeral for Jaehaerys to be like, hey guys, Rhaenyra did this. Rhaenyra did this. Change your opinion so that way you don't go on her side. What is Sir Criston Cole like? Is he smart?
No. I think he is a tortured soul who is just so vindictive and so angry at life that he is just following whoever he thinks like he's admires, right? So he admired Rhaenyra until she let him down. Then he shifted to Alicent. Aegon's just an extension of Alicent, so that's why he protects him. But he's like just so blindly loyal that it's.
But it's like, what do you stand for aside from like protecting the realm?
I mean, he was projecting on Eric. He's like, what were you doing?
Yeah,
she's like, what were you doing?
For real. And I would have punched him. If I had the ability to, I would have punched that guy.
So do you think him, now he's going to be the king's hand?
Yes, he's going to be the king's hand.
Do you think Otto's going to go be like, Rhaenyra, my girl, I always loved you.
Your dad was like my best friend. Yeah. I thought he was such a great... I don't know what Otto's gonna do. I mean, I really...
Well, he said he's going back to wherever the Hightowers thing, who Alicent's other kid lives there, which the only reason Alicent, Olivia, the actress, and Emma, Rhaenyra, said something about, like, in a press interview, like, we get to meet Darian or Darian. It's like some name where she's like, which, by the way, he was never in season one, but I have another son. And then they'd like laugh because he was just like completely not in the...
They're like, oh yeah, we forgot to mention that other kid in the books, but he's important in the next one, so we'll just throw him in.
And he's now living in the high tower. Like, he's supposed to be, he would be second born, I guess, or...
I feel like he's gonna try to find a way to control the situation there, to be a part, to come back.
I think Otto's gonna use that grandson to mold him. And this is just like a guess. I have not read ahead on this part. I think Otto's gonna go see his other grandson and be like, I think we could overthrow your brother. I think you deserve to be king.
Yeah.
And that'd be interesting.
Yeah. And then it's just also obvious how Rhaenyra cares for her kids compared to Alicent. Because, you know, after the whole funeral, after, you know, he made Sir Criston Cole the thing, Aegon has this, like, emotional moment in his room, and Alicent, this is after she hears about Otto, she's going to go because she's telling Otto, I still have control over my son, like, I could still do something. She goes to confront Aegon, and she doesn't even talk to him. She's just like, I'm just going to slip away and go sleep with Sir Criston Cole. And when you compare that to, like, Rhaenyra and her kid coming back from whatever mission that he did, it's like the love is, like, there between her and her kids.
I think it shows...
it doesn't matter if they're bastards. I feel like the love that she had with Strong was so great. Was real, yeah.
So I was reading in the books... it's not as obvious that they're bastard kids because something to do with black hair. Basically, they think, they think it's, you know, her husband, the guy that, Leonor who left. Yeah. So his mother in the books actually has dark hair from her Baratheon lineage. So they think, just skipped a generation and went to their kids. So it's not as noticeable in the book, but the book is, the TV show, it's like they're 100% bastard kids. Like, there's just no way they would have had dark hair. But there's like a lot of details that kind of like...
Also, they were saying about her oldest son. You know how in the first episode of season 2, you see him starting out in Westeros with... Not Westeros, in Winterfell with that guy.
Yes, I read that stuff too.
Apparently,
I don't know
him and that guy have a relation or like each other or have something going on. I don't know how true that is. And if it'll be depicted in the show.
I saw it on TikTok, so I don't know if it was like a fan thing or if it's a real...
I thought I heard that it was from the book. But
it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
I think it was
That'll
pretty
be interesting to see.
It would be interesting to see. Well, yeah, guys, this is our show. It's our quick recaps of the show that we're watching, and we hope that you guys are joining us too. And we apologize, not really, if we spoiled some stuff for you. Blame Brenda.
I just really wanted to know that part, and I think that she helped you realize why you need to pay attention to these characters.
Yeah, and it is true. And just Google it. Like, really, just Google it and you'll find some stuff. But yeah, that's our show today. Be sure to...
And we do have a little surprise for you guys. We are expanding our reach for Pop Off the Clock. You will not only be able to find us on our website, YouTube, but we're actually moving to Spotify.
I'm so excited. I get to hear my own voice as I drive down. We've been pushing that for a year and a half.
Yeah, we're
so excited, and thank you to our creative department for setting that up for us. Hopefully, you know, as we get used to this new studio and this new layout, that you guys share our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're making it easier for you guys to listen because we truly do want you guys to listen to us rant, and I hope you just see it as a little conversation between friends.
Absolutely. So if you don't see us on YouTube, you can find us on Spotify, and for any information, feel free to follow our Instagram as well.
Pop Off the Clock. Just follow us there with all the information. Well, thanks for tuning in. See you next week, guys.